At this moment, at the headquarters of the Raincoat Holy Church, the sect leader is discussing the war with the elders. Vermilion Bird Sword sect now wants to fight to the death with us. What do you elders think? In my opinion, why not just kill Huang Jihao to shock them? As soon as this was mentioned, all the elders echoed in agreement. However, the sect leader's face was full of worries. But they are so bold. Could it be that they have the support of other forces in secret? As soon as this was mentioned, all the elders became restless upon hearing this. This seemed too timid. One by one, they passionately persuaded the sect leader not to hesitate. Seeing everyone's emotions running high, the sect leader said helplessly, "It's not about hesitating. I'm just considering the worst possible outcomes." Finally, the Grand Elder could not stand it any longer. "Sect leader, you are too cautious. No, too timid. Our plans have been delayed over and over again. We can't delay any further. If you are not at ease, I have a compromise. A few of us elders will launch a surprise attack on their main camp. Their main force is entangled with ours, so their sect will definitely be vulnerable." Hearing the plan to sneak attack, all the other elders got excited. The sect leader hesitantly asked, "Must we fight?" As soon as this was mentioned, all the elders looked at him with fiery eyes. The sect leader, Huang Zuntian, could only say, "Alright, then I will personally take action this time. I will go to the Vermilion Bird Sword sect and the Jade Pure sect with Master Shan Kuei. Does this satisfy you?" The elders and others immediately burst into cheers. Sect leader is wise. After so many years, finally, at this moment, the Grand Elder looked helplessly at Master Shan Kuei. "Master Shan Kuei, please be firm when the time comes. I'm worried the sect leader will delay again. I would love nothing more." Meanwhile, after Hanju's continuous hard cultivation, he had advanced his 6 realms of reincarnation technique to the 5th level, and also comprehended an advanced version of the 6 paths soul absorption new divine ability. It allows the absorption of souls to be stored deep within one's primordial spirit, not only protecting the souls, but also imprisoning them, and it can mark the souls with 6 path marks. These 6 path marks will last forever, and no matter how many times the person reincarnates, as long as the marks remain, one can pursue them across reincarnations. But Hanju still felt his cultivation was not enough. Even if the threat from the Raincoat Holy Church was not significant, there was still the great enemy, the monster-taming demon sect. Previously, Xiaoa, who was just an elder, had the cultivation of the fusion void realm. The foundation of this demon sect is ridiculously deep. While Hanju was pondering, Chan Yuer suddenly came to visit. "Master has asked me to invite you to Jade Seclusion Peak for a visit. This matter is very important. It's rare for Sichuan Fairy to invite Hanju, so naturally, he had to give face." Upon arriving at the hall, most of the disciples were present. The eldest disciple, Lu Sanqin, had already graduated to become a core disciple. The current eldest disciple was the former 7th senior brother, Meng He. Soon, everyone was shocked to discover that Hanju was sitting directly next to Sichuan Fairy. The disciples were initially puzzled, but quickly guessed the truth. Could this person be the god-slaying elder? When Meng He first learned of this, he was shocked for several days. But Meng He also immediately instructed everyone, "Listen well, everyone. The identity of Elder Han must not be disclosed. Whoever dares to spread it will be expelled from the sect. Understand?" Hanju was also full of doubts about this matter. What is Master planning to do? Could it be that she wants to pass her position to me? How should I refuse? While he was troubled, Sichuan Fairy slowly began to speak. "Recently, I hope that everyone will not enter into closed-door cultivation and will patrol the outer sect of Jade Pure sect instead. The sect leader has sent back a message." In the letter, he mentioned that they are currently joining forces with Vermilion Bird Sword sect to attack the Raincoat Holy Church, and the imprisoned disciples have been successively rescued. However, he is worried about the Raincoat Holy Church attacking our sect because they have only encountered 5 spirit transformation experts. The other 5 must have other arrangements. Among the 18 Peaks disciples, only our Jade Seclusion Peak has contributed the least, not only because we have fewer people but also because of the sect leader's partiality towards us. Do you understand? All the disciples were instantly ignited. Years of hard cultivation. It's time to draw the sword. At this time, Sichuan Fairy looked towards Hanju. "Elder Han, do you have confidence in defending against a surprise attack by the strong ones from the Raincoat Holy Church?" Only then did Hanju understand why he was called here. It was to serve as a reassurance. With no choice, Hanju responded, "I do have some experience in dealing with strong opponents." Hearing Hanju's humble reply, the disciples thought to themselves that they were in good hands. Then, Sichuan Fairy secretly transmitted a message to Hanju. "How far has your cultivation progressed?" Hanju, however, said, "Level 1. How could your cultivation have not advanced after so many years of seclusion?" Following that, Hanju said, "It's spirit transformation level 1. Sichuan Fairy was immediately stunned. He broke through the nascent soul realm only a few years ago, and in the blink of an eye, he reached the spirit transformation realm. You wanted to see me fail? It seems you no longer see me as your master. Well, that's alright. As a master, I haven't really taught you anything. Anyway, you can ask for anything you need. Your grace towards the Jade Pure sect far exceeds what the Jade Pure sect has done for you. There's no need to be polite." Hanju thought for a moment and said, "I need elixirs for the spirit transformation realm." Sichuan Fairy said, "We actually don't have those." "Then try your best best to enhance the spiritual energy in my dwelling. I will find another way. Sichuan Fairy thought to herself. Hanju is growing too fast. Soon, this small temple won't be able to contain this great Buddha. She turned to ask Hanju, how much longer can you stay in Jade Pure Sect? People aim for higher places, and water flows to lower ones. You are growing quickly, and perhaps one day, Jade Pure Sect will become a hindrance to you. Hearing his master's concerns, Hanju solemnly said, Master, rest assured, if I wanted to leave, I would have done so a long time ago. Besides, even if there were other places to go, the troubles that should come would still not be avoided. Rather than hiding here and there, it's better to cultivate peacefully here. Sichuan Fairy asked with some doubt. The cultivation world has many sects stronger than Jade Pure Sect. Aren't you afraid that constantly cultivating here will make it difficult for your realm to advance? Hanju then stated, Master, you can trust my aptitude and character. If there ever comes a day when I wish to leave, I will certainly inform you in advance. Meanwhile, he thought to himself, go to a broader world to pursue the Tao? Nonsense. I'd rather be a big fish in a small pond than a small fish in a vast ocean. Isn't living a peaceful life wonderful? While they were speaking, the system alerted Hanju. A powerful individual has intruded into the Jade Pure Sect. At this moment, Huang Zuntian and Master Shan Kuei had arrived outside the mountain gate, peering at the Jade Pure Sect from the mountaintop. Jade Pure Sect seems so weak. Could it be a trick? Shan Kuei stated, there are no spirit transformation realm experts in the entire Jade Pure Sect, not even more than 10 nascent souls. However, Huang Zuntian's sixth sense told him something was amiss. Master Shan Kuei urged Huang Zuntian to make a move quickly. Opportunities like this are fleeting. However, Huang Zuntian hesitated again and decided to observe further. Seeing the sect leader's indecisive appearance, Shan Kuei could only curse inwardly. If it weren't for the fact that I can't beat you, I would have taken the position of sect leader from you long ago. As the saying goes, the mantis stalks the cicada, unaware of the oriole behind. Watching the two men in front of him, Hanju didn't dare to approach rashly. He first used a simulation trial in the system to test their strength. Unexpectedly, their abilities were not as formidable as he thought, which is why he dared to come over. While Huang Zuntian and Shan Kuei were still arguing about whether to attack or not, they heard someone behind them asking, did the Raincoat Holy Church only send you two? Huang Zuntian was greatly surprised. I didn't even notice his presence. Jade Pure Sect really is full of tricks. Not knowing the strength of the newcomer, Huang Zuntian took a few steps back. However, Shan Kuei, seeing that there was only one person, angrily shouted, boy, you're quite arrogant. I'd like to see for myself how capable you are. With that, Shan Kuei formed the six-direction sky-devouring seal, aiming to strike at Hanju. Huang Zuntian wanted to intervene, but it was too late. Seeing that Shan Kuei wanted to act rather than talk, Hanju asked solemnly, I heard that the leader of the Holy Sect does not like to kill. Why then are you targeting the Jade Pure Sect? Huang Zuntian was momentarily at a loss for words and couldn't respond. Meanwhile, Shan Kuei had already formed a seal and smashed it towards Hanju, only to see Hanju activate the three Pure Shadow Sword, a flash of golden light, and before Shan Kuei could react, he was turned into a mist of blood with a puff. Seeing his subordinate, who had the strength of the 7th level of spirit transformation, being killed by a sword strike from this young man in front of him, Huang Zuntian trembled and said, indeed, there was deceit. The primordial spirit of Shan Kuei, shivering, finally understood why their leader had always been so cautious. Indeed, in the cultivation world, there are heavens beyond our heaven. Just as he thought of escaping, his primordial spirit was also crushed into oblivion by Hanju with 2 fingers. Huang Zuntian wanted to intervene, but it was too late. Even as a 9th level spirit transformation realm expert, he still couldn't see through Hanju's true strength. This person must be beyond spirit transformation, probably having broken through the fusion void realm. Huang Zuntian, in powerless fury, threw out a threat. You wait. Our Raincoat Holy Church will not rest until we are dead. Turning around, he took to his heels, leaving Hanju momentarily speechless. Huang Zuntian, employing every trick in the book to flee like lightning while muttering, my sixth sense was indeed correct. Jade Pure Sect actually harbors such a being. Shan Kuei, oh Shan Kuei, when my cultivation progresses, I will surely avenge you. At this moment, Hanju, riding the somersault cloud, chased after him. Pointing his sword at Huang Zuntian, he said, I do not plan to let you go. To eliminate the weeds, you must remove the roots. Do you understand? By then, Huang Zuntian had no choice but to beg for mercy. Actually, I didn't want to fight either, but as the sect leader, I must take responsibility for the entire sect. Besides, if it weren't for me holding them back, who knows how many Jade Pure Sect disciples would have died. Look at them now. They are all alive and well. As long as you let me go, I will definitely order my followers not to attack Jade Pure Sect again. From now on, we will stay out of each other's way. Really? For a moment, Huang Zuntian thought there was a chance for mercy, but then, a sword light flashed, and the heaven-punishing demon god sword instantly came slashing down. Hanju shook his sword and said to Huang Zuntian's primordial spirit, previously, you couldn't stop the war between the two sects. What makes you think you can do so after you return? At that moment, the system sent a notification. Huang Zuntian has developed a 2-star enmity towards you. Hanju chuckled coldly, able to revive revive from death? No. Is it an illusion? A substitute? Wait, this talisman, could it be a life substitute talisman? I've heard it's quite valuable. You really went all out, huh? At this time, with only his primordial spirit remaining, Huang Zuntian, using the last of his spiritual energy, had already activated the teleportation treasure to return to the Raincoat Holy Church. As long as I escape back, there's still hope, unless there's a spell that can launch hundreds of attacks instantaneously to prevent the teleportation formation. Huang Zuntian did not believe Hanju had such power. Yet, Hanju pointed his sword to the sky, and countless golden lights surged upwards, turning into sword energies that shot down like a Gatling gun in rapid succession. 10,000 swords returned to origin. At this moment, Huang Zuntian had no thoughts of resistance left, only managing to scream out his deepest fear with the last of his energy. This unusual surge of spiritual power attracted the Jade Pure Sect's guardian cultivators. The crowd arrived only to be stunned by the scene before them. The mountain at the main entrance had been flattened, and without a doubt, everyone knew who was responsible. Back in his cave dwelling, Hanju had tied up Huang Zuntian's last wisp of primordial spirit like a hairy crab. In fear, Huang Zuntian asked Hanju, "Who exactly are you? Why can you use that mysterious sect's secret technique?" 10,000 swords returned to origin. A chicken nearby was sizing up whether this thing could be eaten, only to hear Hanju pompously introduce himself as Loki. Both the chicken and Huang Zuntian were baffled. Seeing their dumbfounded looks, Hanju urged him to quickly spill all the details about the Raincoat Holy Church. "Does your Raincoat Holy Church have something like a supreme elder?" "Yes, but he has already left the Great Swallow." "How did you become the sect leader?" "I have my own unique skills, which I keep secret." After learning that the Raincoat Holy Church no longer had any notable elder experts, Hanju lost interest in Huang Zuntian. Fearing his primordial spirit might be crushed, Huang Zuntian pleaded with Hanju for mercy. "Sir, can you spare me? I can join the Jade Pure Sect and redeem myself through good deeds." Hanju didn't want to destroy him just yet, so he employed the six-path soul absorption to imprison Huang Zuntian's primordial spirit deep within his own primordial spirit. Now that Huang Zuntian was captured, the remnants of the Raincoat Holy Church were no longer a concern. The chicken contemplated, "The master finally doesn't have to run away." Meanwhile, Huang Zuntian cursed in his heart, "Those damn elders, if I get out alive, I'll kill you all." Just as Hanju had dealt with the strongest force of the Raincoat Holy Church, the allied forces of the Jade Pure Sect and Vermilion Birdsword Sect were fiercely battling at the Raincoat Holy Church's stronghold. Unable to contact their sect leader, the Raincoat Sect disciples were considering retreating into the sect to regroup when they encountered a man chasing after them on a sword. "Last time, you people ganged up on me without any martial honor. Today, if you don't explain where your sect leader is, don't blame me, Huang Jihao, for being ruthless." The Raincoat Sect disciples, having no desire to fight, were thinking of fleeing but were then blocked by Li Qingzi and others from the Jade Pure Sect. The Jade Pure Sect had already taken down the Raincoat Holy Church's sign and informed the Raincoat Sect disciples, "Your sect leader, on his way to sneak attack the Jade Pure Sect, encountered our god-slaying elder. Now, our Jade Pure Sect is safe and sound, while your sect leader has yet to return. I suppose there's no need for us to say more." Upon receiving this devastating news, the disciples of the Raincoat Sect completely fell apart, directly raising the white flag to negotiate peace and surrender. After the situation calmed down, Hanju resumed his low-profile lifestyle. The elixirs given by Xian Qingjun were also consumed, and his cultivation speed became increasingly slower. His cultivation level stagnated at the third level of the spirit transformation realm. Just as Hanju was contemplating settling for this, the voice of sect leader Li came from outside the cave. It turned out he had rescued Hanju's unfortunate disciple. Upon seeing his master again, Yang Tiandong cried tears of joy. "Do you know how much suffering I've endured these years? I always believed that, master, you would come to save me. It was this belief that kept me going." Hanju didn't dare to admit that he was afraid to venture out due to fear of death. To his surprise, Yang Tiandong hugged Hanju, weeping with gratitude. "The sect leader told me everything. If it weren't for you standing guard over the Jade Pure Sect, he wouldn't have dared to make a move to rescue us. You are my god." "Master," patting his foolish disciple's head, Hanju felt a twinge of guilt. "You've done well. From now on, I will impart all my knowledge to you." At this moment, the system also notified that Yang Tiandong's favorability towards Hanju had increased to 5 stars. Li Qingzi, witnessing the reunion of master and disciple, said, "Congratulations. All the Jade Pure Sect disciples who were kidnapped have been safely rescued. However, there's still an issue I'd like to discuss with Elder Han. My insider in the Raincoat Holy Church reported that sect leader Huang Zuntian disappeared near the Jade Pure Sect. Just after returning to the sect, we also discovered that a hill near the north gate was missing. Was this your doing?" Hanju nodded in acknowledgement. Learning that Huang Zuntian had been eliminated, Li Qingzi was overjoyed, like a 500-pound fat man. "You are the greatest hero of this battle. Thanks to you taking care of Huang Zuntian, we were able to destroy the Raincoat Holy Church's den smoothly. Now everything is great. The leader of the Raincoat Holy Church is dead. They are no longer a threat. For Jade Pure Sect to produce a person of your caliber, it's truly heaven sent." Seeing him dancing with joy, Hanju advised, well, now that this matter is settled, sect leader, you should also stop wandering around. Focus on your cultivation and avoid getting beaten up again. At that moment, Li Qingzi remembered something important. That's right, in half a year, our ancestral master will return to the Jade Pure sect, and in 5 more years, it will be the 1000-year anniversary of the founding of the Jade Pure sect. We will invite heroes from all sects to attend. I will promote you, let them all know of your feat in slaying Huang Zuantian, and make your name known throughout the cultivation world. Hearing this, Hanju immediately spoke out to stop him. No, you must not let them know that the leader of the Raincoat Holy Church fell by my hand. I don't want to be in the limelight. I just want to cultivate in peace. Seeing Hanju trying to evade, Li Qingzi also shared his thoughts, but this way, they will hesitate because of you and will no longer target Jade Pure sect. Hanju then said, I have already taken on quite a bit of karma for Jade Pure sect. If they join forces and come after us, I can easily flee. But what about Jade Pure sect? Will you be able to withstand it then? Hearing Hanju say this, Li Qingzi could no longer insist. In that case, I will add more spiritual energy to your cave dwelling to aid your cultivation. Once the ancestral master returns with heavenly treasures, surely they will help you make further progress. As Li Qingzi took his leave from Hanju, he muttered, Ancestor, you must return soon. We can't afford this little ancestor. After successfully eliminating the Raincoat Holy Church, the system once again rewarded Hanju. He was awarded the 5-rank spiritual treasure, 9 stars spirit stepping boots, which not only allows one to tread on spiritual energy and absorb it, but also enhances teleportation, divine ability, and movement speed. This was exactly what Hanju wanted, practically a tool perfect for escaping. He also received a manual for the Heartless Flying Sword technique. This sword technique, which continuously diminishes desires and passions, has tremendous killing power. Hanju thought it would be best to leave this sword technique for Yang Tiandong. Unexpectedly, the system rewarded a divine beast egg, containing a chaotic heavenly dog that can eat the moon. However, Hanju was puzzled why the dog was hatched from an egg and wondered how to incubate it. At this moment, to Yang Tiandong and the chicken, it seemed as if Hanju was conjuring heavenly treasures out of thin air. Could Master be wholesaling treasures? Looking at the heavenly dog egg and then at the chicken, an excellent idea occurred to Hanju. Little chicken, I need a favor from you. Master, I'm a male. You know. Half a year later, the day finally arrived for the founding ancestor to return to the Jade Pure sect. All the disciples gathered, standing in solemn preparation to welcome him. Soon, the disciples pointed to the sky in shock, seeing a huge void vortex appear, with an elderly man holding a massive monster slowly walking out of it. The elder laughed heartily upon seeing the disciples of the Jade Pure sect, even his laughter exuding a pressure far surpassing that of Duan Tongtian. The Supreme Elder shouted, Form the array! As the ground's formation lit up with golden light, everyone unfurled a welcome banner for the Jade Pure sect ancestor. The Supreme Elder asked the elder in the sky with a cutesy tone, Master, do you like it? Is it grand enough? Pleased with such a grand welcome ceremony, the 9 Cauldrons sage expressed his satisfaction. It's much more grand than when I left. This fusion void realm monster was just something I killed along the way. Take it down for alchemy and to reward the disciples. The people on the ground unanimously praised the ancestor's wisdom. The 9 Cauldrons sage then asked Li Qingzi and the others, has there been any outstanding disciple in the sect during my absence? As a reward, I can personally transmit some skills to him for a period of time. The Supreme Elder and Li Qingzi began to recount the various deeds of Hanju. 9 Cauldrons sage said, where's this outstanding disciple? I would like to meet him. Li Qingzi replied, Elder Han has always been cultivating in his cave dwelling and seldom comes out. 9 Cauldrons sage was not upset. No hurry, I will personally visit him in a few days. Since the hatching of the heavenly dog egg, Hanju's cave dwelling had become lively, best described by the chaos of chickens flying and dogs jumping, rendering the place anything but peaceful. Although the dog was hatched by the chicken, it was naturally arrogant and did not acknowledge the chicken as its mother. The two fools spent their days fighting each other. Elder Han, your 2 demonic pets are quite extraordinary. Where did you get them? Hanju turned to see the question came from an elderly man he had not seen before. Who are you? I am the founding ancestor, 9 Cauldrons sage. Seeing the ancestor had arrived, Hanju immediately got up and respectfully greeted him with a fist and palm salute. In fact, he had simulated battles against the ancestor many times in the system, but facing the ancestor's fusion void realm level 8 strength, Hanju had no chance of winning. 9 Cauldrons sage thanked Hanju. I must thank you, young friend, for stepping forward during the crisis of the Jade Pure sect. As a token of gratitude, I offer you an opportunity. Are you willing to take it? 1,000 years ago, I left the Great Swallow cultivation world to seek the land immortal, eventually reaching overseas. After years of adventure, I've become the deputy sect master of a dominant sect. I plan to bring some talents there for cultivation. This opportunity comes only once. Are you interested? 9 Cauldrons sage was quite pleased with himself. Humph, such an opportunity would tempt anyone. Hanju, however, looked grim. Deputy sect master overseas? My home was nearly stolen, and you were out there enjoying yourself? At this moment, the system also popped up with a prompt. You have the following choices. options. 1. Follow 9 Cauldrons Sage overseas to receive a bottle of cultivation elixir, a magical tool, and a spiritual treasure. 2. Continue to stay in the Jade Pure sect. Cultivate low-key, strive for stability, and receive a divine ability inheritance. Hanju noticed this option seems different from the previous ones. The first one appears to offer more rewards. Hanju asked, is your sect considered invincible overseas? 9 Cauldrons Sage replied, while not invincible, we are indeed one of the overlords. Hanju expressed his concerns. Overlord? So, there are opponents then? Of course, but our sect has many fusion void realm experts. Outsiders would not easily shake us. Seeing Hanju's hesitation, Li Qingzi hurriedly suggested that Hanju could consider it further before deciding. Elder Han, if you find it difficult, this matter can be set aside for now. The ancestor will be staying in the Jade Pure sect for a while, so there's no rush to decide. Li Qingzi had his calculations. If Elder Han leaves with 9 Cauldrons Sage, what will Jade Pure sect do if we encounter danger again? 9 Cauldrons Sage stated, correct, I will stay for at least 50 years before leaving. We plan to transform the Jade Pure sect into a sacred place of the Great Swallow cultivation world. During this time, you can think it over. To everyone's surprise, Hanju answered decisively, thank you, ancestor, for your generous offer. I've decided to stay in the Jade Pure sect. I wish to contribute to the development of the Jade Pure sect. Just as you ventured out for many years for the sake of the Jade Pure sect, I have my own way of protecting the sect and witnessing its growth and prosperity. This is my path of cultivation. Hearing Hanju's response, 9 Cauldrons Sage didn't want to press further. He instructed Li Qingzi, I've heard that you prefer quiet and hard cultivation. From now on, this entire mountain is yours. You won't need to rely on the spiritual energy from the cave dwelling anymore. This spirit vein will be sufficient for you. Li Qingzi, you arrange for the disciples in the other cave dwellings on this mountain. From now on, this mountain belongs only to Elder Han. Li Qingzi and Hanju were both startled. Hanju immediately thanked the ancestor for his generosity. This was much better than risking going overseas. After leaving Hanju's cave dwelling, Li Qingzi asked, ancestor, were you just testing Elder Han's loyalty to the sect? You could say that I've confirmed it now. The heavenly materials and earthly treasures I've collected over the years have all been placed in the treasure vault. You can take some for him. Also, you need to set up a spirit gathering array for the entire mountain to concentrate the spiritual energy. As for the other disciples in the cave dwellings, you should know how to settle them. The ancestor asked Li Qingzi, are you worried that after he leaves with me, there will be no one to protect the Jade Pure sect? Li Qingzi admitted, indeed, I have such concerns. Moreover, Elder Han is cautious and probably would not want to go. Cautious? I see it as fear. It's the first time I've heard fear described in such a refreshing and refined manner. I certainly wasn't like him back in my day. Li Qingzi thought to himself, here goes the old man bragging about the past again. At this time, in the cave dwelling, Hanju received another system prompt. You choose to continue staying in the Jade Pure sect and receive a divine ability inheritance. Congratulations, you have obtained the divine ability, Buddha's Curse. It's a Buddhist divine ability that can transcend souls and suppress evil cults. Buddhist divine ability? System, are you trying to make me become a monk? On this day, Xing Hongxian came to Hanju in high spirits, saying she had found another treasure at the market auction. This is a piece of innate spirit gathering jade, extremely rare. It can automatically gather the spiritual energy of heaven and earth to produce spirit gathering pills. Therefore, she wanted to give it to Hanju. Upon activating his spiritual sense, Hanju discovered that the object was dangerously evil. Please, don't just pick up anything. This thing is sealed with a malicious spirit. If you use it for cultivation, it will backfire on your physical body and soul. But I clearly checked it with my spiritual sense. How could this be? This thing has disguised its malevolent energy as spiritual energy. Only a nascent soul spiritual sense can see through it. I'm so sorry. I almost harmed my husband. I'll throw it away right now. I can purify it. Give it here. Thus, Hanju used the 6-path soul absorption technique to extract all the evil spirits from it. Hanju returned the purified treasure to Xing Hongxian. Keep it. The malicious spirit inside has been removed by me. You'll need this treasure when you break through to the golden core. Xing Hongxian praised Hanju. That was close. It's all thanks to my husband's high realm for seeing through this evil object. How should I repay you? How about offering myself to you? However, Hanju, being quite straightforward, said, your cultivation is too low. At this rate, you can't become my cultivation partner. Discovering she was rejected by Hanju again, Xing Hongxian felt somewhat unhappy. Realizing he might have spoken improperly, Hanju took out a storage ring. Inside are all the treasures you've given me in the past. I've kept them safe for you. Now, I'm returning them to you. Additionally, the spiritual energy here is rich. You should move nearby to cultivate. Hearing this, Xing Hongxian was both shocked and pleasantly surprised. Could it be that Hanju wants us to live together? Noticing Xing Hongxian's flushed face, Hanju immediately clarified, I'm suggesting you move here for cultivation, not what you're thinking. Also, you must not reveal our relationship for now. I fear that my enemies might use you to threaten me. Xing Hongxian quickly agreed, thinking to herself, he really does care about me. Hearing Hanju's words, the chicken and the dog couldn't help but imagine a melodramatic saga of betrayal. A year and a half later, through the personal optimal efforts of the real 9 cauldrons, the spiritual energy of Jade Pure Sect's 18 peaks and the inner sex ponds saw a significant increase. Numerous beasts, comparable to the nascent soul realm, were tamed to protect the sect and the myriad demon realm. As the Jade Pure Sect continued to grow, the Millennium Celebration was about to begin. Cultivation World's various righteous path sects sent representatives to offer their congratulations, making the Jade Pure Sect especially lively. However, Hanju had no interest in the Millennium Celebration. Cultivation was his life. As the chicken and the dog grew larger, Hanju built them a shelter outside his cave dwelling. If you grow any bigger, you won't fit through the cave entrance. Live outside for now, but remember not to go down the mountain and show off. At this moment, the system sent another notification. Another innate destiny individual detected. This person, named Suchi, is the reincarnation of the heavens broomstar, born with bad luck and destined to bring misfortune to those around him. His fate is extremely tough, often causing those close to him to suffer misfortune or even death, yet he always manages to turn danger into safety. Hearing that the Jade Pure Sect is the strongest sect in the Great Swallow, he wishes to join the Jade Pure Sect to learn their teachings. Special note, because you have the luck of an immortal emperor's descendant, you are not affected by the broomstar's bad luck. Additionally, do not kill the broomstar, as his overwhelming bad luck cannot be blocked even by the luck of an immortal emperor. Hanju was frightened. System, why didn't you tell me earlier? Where is he? I can't let him get close to the Jade Pure Sect. At this time, Suchi arrived outside the mountain gate, finally reaching the Jade Pure Sect. Suchi, from now on, you must work hard in your cultivation. You will surely be the best. The first step in cultivation may be small, but it's a big step in life. Hanju arrived just in time, swooshing over. Why have you, a mere mortal, come to the Jade Pure Sect? Seeing Hanju's immortal aura, Suchi asked, are you an immortal of the Jade Pure Sect? My name is Suchi. I want to join the Jade Pure Sect for cultivation. Can I directly enter the inner sect? My talent will not disappoint you. Hanju thought to himself, let you join the Jade Pure Sect and then get dragged down by your bad luck. Hanju then tried to dissuade him, saying, you're too old and have missed the best time to start cultivating. How about I teach you a method to gather energy, and you look elsewhere for a master? Suchi, seeing him trying to block his way, doubted. No, I insist on joining the Jade Pure Sect. Wait, are you not from the Jade Pure Sect? I've heard that many other sects have come for the Jade Pure Sect's Millennium Celebration. You must be here to steal disciples, right? Hanju retorted. Have some shame. How does a kid like you know so much? What a hassle. So, you really won't leave? Trying to deceive me? Not happening. After saying that, Hanju grabbed Suchi by the collar and flew up. Suchi, thinking Hanju was going to harm him, screamed in terror. Don't kill me. Kill you? Are you kidding? I can't withstand that overwhelming bad luck either. Suchi demanded of Hanju. Who exactly are you? You don't need to know who I am. Since you don't want to leave, you'll stay with me for the rest of your life and forget about going anywhere else. At this moment, the system notified, Suchi's enmity towards you has reached 2 stars. Hanju thought to himself, not good. This kid is emanating a terrifying aura. Could it be he's about to unleash some kind of misfortune technique? Unexpectedly, Suchi collapsed with a thud, his stomach rumbling loudly. It turned out that on his way to the Jade Pure Sect, he hadn't eaten a single meal. Every restaurant he approached either suddenly closed down or was raided by bandits. Hanju thought, you really are a jinx. Before long, Hanju ordered a full table of takeout for Suchi, who didn't hesitate to start eating voraciously. The system then notified, Suchi's favorability towards you has increased to 3 stars. Watching Suchi wolf down the food, Hanju realized Suchi didn't know that the bad luck was inherent to him. Poor kid. How's the taste? This will be your last meal. Suchi startled. However, Hanju told him, you'll start cultivating tomorrow. After learning the method of energy absorption, you won't need to eat anymore. Only then did Suchi realize Hanju brought him here for cultivation. Instantly, the system notified, Suchi's favorability towards Hanju had increased to 5 stars. Hanju thought, this kid is easy to handle. And so, as the seasons changed, 13 years passed in a blink. Hanju had broken through to the 5th level of the spirit transformation realm, and Suchi had grown into a teenager, reaching the 2nd level of the foundation establishment realm. Suddenly hearing joyous voices throughout the sect, Hanju asked Suchi, what's today? Suchi replied, today is the day the disciples who were taken overseas by the ancestor have returned. 10 years had flown by. At that moment, a familiar voice sounded outside the cave dwelling. It was his senior sister, returning from overseas to visit Hanju. She said, compared to the fighting and killing overseas, this place is practically heaven. At the same time, she informed Hanju, on the way back, the ancestor led all the disciples and thoroughly eradicated the remnants of the Raincoat Holy Church, even plundering their entire fortune. Hanju thought to himself, that's great, now I can focus on my cultivation in seclusion. Watching the two chatting eagerly in the distance, the chicken and the dog began to imagine melodramatic scenarios again. Brother Chicken, who is that woman? She seems to like our master a lot. Do not be deceived by what you see. That is greed. She wants to eat the master. At this moment, the system notified, your disciple Yang Tiandong was attacked by a demon cultivator, and your cultivation partner Xian Qingjun was killed, but has been resurrected resurrected. Xian Qingjun was killed. Despite her high cultivation level, she was slain. It seems the cultivation world is extremely dangerous, but it's good she was resurrected. I'll have to ask her about this resurrection technique when we meet next. After their chat, the senior sister also said goodbye to Hanju to pay respects to their master. Seeing that the senior sister wasn't affected by Su Chi's bad luck that afternoon, Hanju deduced that bad luck might also relate to the duration of contact. At that moment, Hanju heard a familiar voice saying, "I'm back." Turning towards the voice, he saw it was the ancestor himself visiting, with Su Chi currently massaging his shoulders. The ancestor looked quite pleased. "I've just returned from overseas and brought back many treasures to enhance the spiritual energy of the cave dwelling. I'll instruct the disciples to plant them later. Your disciple has excellent potential. How about I take him overseas next time for some experience? What do you think?" Hanju was speechless, walking around with a jinx. "Ancestor, you're really courting death." Nine Cauldrons sage turned and asked, "Kid, what do you think? Would you like to accompany this old master overseas for cultivation?" His intention was to alleviate the burden of Hanju being a teacher, unaware of how severe Su Chi's jinx nature was. Hanju helplessly informed the ancestor, "This kid has secrets that cannot be disclosed. You really can't take him away." Su Chi, quite clever, seeing the ancestor actually wanted to take a junior disciple and needed Hanju's approval, realized Hanju's status within the sect was not simple. One shouldn't easily switch thighs to hug. It's better to cling to this great thigh of my master and concentrate on cultivation. Therefore, Su Chi thanked the ancestor for his kindness but expressed, "I wish to continue my cultivation with my master and protect the Jade Pure sect." The ancestor laughed, "Like master, like disciple. Well, then," Hanju thought to himself, "I'm saving your life here." Nine Cauldrons sage stated, "I've already scoped out the entirety of the Great Swallow cultivation world. Now, there are no sects daring to target the Jade Pure sect. You can cultivate in peace. On this trip, I discovered an ancient forbidden area with abundant resources. This place was discovered not long ago and might contain many treasures. Would you like to check it out?" Hanju thought to himself, "Ancient forbidden land? Just hearing it doesn't sound like a place for sightseeing. Wait, isn't that the forbidden land Zhou Fan fell into?" Since then, there has been no news of Zhou Fan, so he declined the ancestor's offer. "Never mind, let other disciples have this opportunity instead." The ancestor slowly said, "I knew you would say that. There's another matter. In no more than 20 years, I will have to leave for the opening of the Heavenly Immortal Mansion. I plan to enter the mansion in pursuit of the Tao. Would you like to come with me? Let me tell you, this Heavenly Immortal Mansion is extraordinary. It appears every 100 years and has disciples who ascend to immortality." To Hanju's surprise, the ancestor produced the Heavenly Immortal Mansion order, the very same one Xian Qingjun had wanted to give him. "I didn't realize the Heavenly Immortal Mansion was so prestigious. Even an integration realm level 8 powerhouse wants to join." However, since Hanju's ambition lay elsewhere, he declined the ancestor's generous offer. As he bid farewell to the ancestor, Hanju thought, after being served by Su Chi for half a day, "I'm afraid you won't be able to avoid the bad luck." 10 years later, the ancestor's bad luck indeed arrived. He was attacked by inner demons during his cultivation, reducing his cultivation by 100 years, while Zhou Fan died, but was revived by a powerful being, with his body remade. By this time, Hanju, who had reached the 6th level of the spirit transformation realm, could now fight the ancestor in the system for half an hour. With Su Chi cultivating in the cave, his bad luck seemed to grow stronger. Fortunately, the chaotic heavenly dog, being a creature of good fortune, managed to keep the chicken safe. The family within the cave dwelling lived harmoniously. Hearing that Xing Hongxian had also returned to the sect, Hanju wanted to see her. Upon knocking on Xing Hongshuan's door, Hanju was greeted with a refreshing sight. Seeing Hanju, Xing Hongxian took his arm, eager to show him a great treasure. Inside the cave dwelling, Xing Hongxian showed Hanju a collection of items obtained from the ancient forbidden land. "A few years ago, I visited the ancient forbidden land and got quite a few treasures from there. Pick whatever you like." Hanju thought, "I appreciate Xing Hongshuan's intentions, but these treasures seem rather ordinary." Well, it's to be expected. With her cultivation level, it would be difficult to obtain high-grade treasures. Suddenly, Hanju's spiritual sense detected a weak divine consciousness emanating from an item resembling a spirit tablet. He began to study it more closely. Indeed, a man engrossed in serious work is most attractive. At this moment, Xing Hongxian found herself desiring Hanju's body. Suddenly, Hanju's spiritual sense was drawn in. He saw a towering divine soul standing before him. The divine soul told Hanju, "Secret technique, heavenly puppet. A heavenly puppet is created from spiritual power. Its strength depends on the creator's cultivation level. The heavenly puppet does not fight automatically. It requires the creator to control it with a strand of soul consciousness. If the heavenly puppet is destroyed, it will not affect the creator. However, the downside is that the heavenly puppet is not durable. Once its spiritual power is exhausted, it will become inactive until the next time spiritual power is infused, restoring its mobility. This is just a creation from pure spiritual power. If heavenly materials and earthly treasures are added in the making, its endurance will increase, and its strength will far exceed that of the creator. Since it does not need to breathe, you can make a fixed number of heavenly puppets and store them in a storage ring for backup. Hanju thought, isn't this like having a bunch of clone fighters? Then, the divine soul told Hanju again, using the world's top materials and supreme spiritual power to refine the ultimate heavenly puppet, its power can contend with an immortal emperor. As the voice faded, the appearance of the giant divine soul became clearer. Hanju was shocked. The demon god looked remarkably similar to a Gundam. In an instant, Hanju's spiritual sense was transmitted back to reality. Opening his eyes, he saw Xing Hongxian straddling him, having removed much of his clothing. Hanju sprang up from the bed as if he had been the one taken advantage of, thinking to himself, lucky my reactions were quick, or else my centuries of celibacy would have been ruined. After straightening his clothes, Hanju said to Xing Hongxian, I'll take this tablet to study it further. I'll come over another day. Hearing that Hanju would return, Xing Hongxian understood that her earlier actions hadn't displeased him. It seems there's hope for us to become cultivation partners after all. Back in his cave dwelling, Hanju continued to delve into the method of creating puppets. It was truly a technique from the ancient Forbidden Land. The heavenly puppet technique was indeed extraordinary. Under normal circumstances, it's difficult for spiritual power to materialize, let alone create a puppet. Yet, the heavenly puppet technique could achieve this. The secret technique for splitting one's soul consciousness was also quite rare, essentially like having an extra pair of eyes, allowing for shared vision with the puppet. Thinking this over, he considered, I could make one for each of them. In case they encounter danger outside, the heavenly puppet could save their lives. Even if the puppet couldn't overcome the threat, sharing its location could allow for timely rescue. Thinking of this, Hanju immediately shouted excitedly, I want to make 10. However, Hanju underestimated the difficulty of crafting heavenly puppets. Although not hard to make, it was too cumbersome, requiring a lot of time like meticulous model crafting. 2 years later, Hanju finally crafted the first puppet. He teleported to Xing Hongxuan's cave dwelling. She was still cultivating and was startled by Hanju's sudden appearance. But upon seeing it was Hanju, her face lit up with joy again. Hanju directly took out the heavenly puppet. Miss Xing, this puppet is for you. It can be stored in a storage ring. You must take it wherever you go. In critical moments, it can save your life. Xing Hongxian was delighted and looked over the heavenly puppet with satisfaction. Wow, it looks like my husband. In the following year, Hanju created 2 more heavenly puppets. Hanju gave the 2 heavenly puppets to Chan Yuer and Sichuan Fairy, respectively. Since the heavenly puppet was almost like cheating, Hanju once thought about creating an army. But Hanju found that controlling the puppets with his soul required splitting his soul, which greatly affected his cultivation. Drained, Hanju lay there listlessly. Forget it. Cutting too much will cause problems. I'm not making a soul artifact. Besides, I haven't cultivated for 2 years because of this. I can't delay my cultivation any longer. In the blink of an eye, 3 years passed. Hanju suddenly received a system notification. You are now 200 years old. You chose to cultivate in low profile and obtained a spiritual treasure, the 4th grade Frost Lord's glazed crown. It can reflect all attacks below the integration realm, excluding special divine abilities, and effectively defend against soul and spiritual sense impacts. Another defensive spiritual treasure. The system knows my heart well. From now on, Hanju from head to toe is all spiritual treasures, armed to the extreme. The spirit transformation realm can't possibly harm me. Another 5 years passed. The 9 Cauldrons sage took a group of disciples and left for overseas. Before leaving, Chan Yuer came to say goodbye. Wu, my junior brother, without you, how can I live? It took Hanju a good half day to send off this weeping senior sister. After the departure of the 9 Cauldrons sage, Hanju, bored, used the simulation trial to check the highest cultivation level within the Jade Pure sect besides himself. The system notified that the current strongest person in the sect is Li Qianlong, at the 5th level of the spirit transformation realm, the heir to the Poison King. Hanju had a peculiar expression, thinking that the name Li Qianlong sounded very familiar, as if he had heard it somewhere before. Over 100 years ago, Maju invited him to search for opportunities, and it seemed that they were looking for the cave dwelling of Li Qianlong, who was supposed to be dead by then. However, having the cultivation of the 5th level of the spirit transformation realm in the Great Swallow cultivation world is considered extremely high. If he were truly still alive, it would definitely cause a significant commotion. But Hanju had never heard his own people mention him, indicating that Li Qianlong had infiltrated the Jade Pure sect. Hanju immediately searched for Li Qianlong's location. Li Qianlong was actually at the main peak. At this moment, Master Jingxu had gathered all disciples of the main peak to announce the departure of the 9 Cauldrons sage. Li Qianlong had an ordinary appearance, and his aura was suppressed at the 1st level of the Golden Core realm, looking very honest. Who would have thought he was the heir to the Poison King? Li Qianlong was overjoyed upon learning that the 9 Cauldrons sage had left for overseas, feeling that he finally had his chance. With the 9 Cauldrons sage present, he dared not act rashly. Now that the 9 Cauldrons sage had left, he finally felt like the clouds were parting to reveal the sun. Stay calm. There's still someone who can hinder me. The most mysterious person in the Jade Pure sect, the God-slaying elder. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, in the ancient Forbidden Land, Zhou Fan knelt on the ground, refusing to rise. Zhou Fan, must I accept my fate as such? No, my fate is mine to control, not destined by the heavens. And so, 5 years passed. Hanju broke through to the 7th layer of the spirit transformation realm, drawing ever closer to the fusion void realm. Hanju checked the interpersonal relationships section of his mail. Your cultivation partner Xin Qingjun has had a life epiphany and comprehended a divine ability. Your friend Mafuchu has fallen into the demon path. Your friend, the Nine Cauldrons Sage, was attacked by a demon king and was seriously injured. Your friend, the Nine Cauldrons Sage, was so angered that his Dao heart was damaged. Your friend Zhou Fan has achieved a powerful body, shocking the world. Hanju was stunned. So much has happened in these 5 years. Mafuchu has actually fallen into the demon path. What did he encounter? The Nine Cauldrons Sage is truly miserable, but he deserves it for always courting disaster. And Zhou Fan, well done. Hanju took a deep breath, feeling that he could not slack off. My cultivation level in the Great Swallow cultivation world might already be at the ceiling, but that doesn't mean it will stay that way in the future. I still need to diligently cultivate. Thus, Hanju decided to go all out towards the fusion void realm. In the blink of an eye, another 10 years passed. Hanju's cultivation level reached the 8th layer of the spirit transformation realm. One day, Li Qingzi came to visit. To prevent Su Qi from passing bad luck to Li Qingzi, Hanju stepped out of his cave dwelling. Sect leader, please stop. Let's catch up somewhere else. Li Qingzi greeted him warmly. Elder Han, long time no see. How is your cultivation going? Now, he was radiant with success. With the help of the Nine Cauldrons Sage, his cultivation level had reached the nascent soul realm. Besides his cultivation, he was also the leader of the righteous path in the Great Swallow cultivation world. Over the years, Hanju had not seen him attacked by anyone. Hanju asked with a smile, Sect Leader Li, what brings you here? Sect Leader Li said, the cultivation conference organized by the righteous path is about to start. This time, the conference will be held in the capital of the Great Swallow dynasty. Participating can gain human race's luck, which is beneficial for cultivation. Elder Han, will you go? Cultivation conference? It sounds like trouble waiting to happen. I won't. After all, with the departure of our ancestor, other forces must be aware by now. You understand what I mean. I knew you would say that. You're missing out on a great opportunity. Wait till I bring back that luck. You'll be envious. Hanju asked. By the way, Sect Leader, what's your view on Li Qianlong? Sect Leader sighed. How did you come to know about this scourge? Li Qianlong was once my junior brother, a rare genius in the Jade Pure sect for 100 years. However, he and Gu Yugang both fancied Xishuan Fairy. The two once fought a life and death battle, forcing our master to intervene. But Li Qianlong, unconvinced, dared to attack our master stealthily. Fortunately, I intervened in time to prevent a major mistake. He was punished, his meridians were severed, and he was locked in the reflection cliff for introspection, but he escaped. Before leaving, he left a letter saying he would return one day to overturn the Jade Pure sect. Hanju remarked, Master is indeed a woman with heavy karma. No wonder the master forbids disciples of Jade Seclusion Peak from falling in love. Li Qingzi asked, but why do you suddenly bring him up? Hanju said, some time ago, I encountered someone in the inner city claiming to be Li Qianlong's disciple, recruiting people. I was also invited, but recently when I wanted to find him, he disappeared. Li Qingzi exclaimed, what? He's already here? What's he planning with the recruitment? Hanju recalled, he said he caught a fish and found a note in its stomach, something about Great Chu Rising, Old Chen or something like that. I didn't pay much attention afterward, but it seemed like he was hinting at something. Li Qingzi guessed, Great Chu Rising. He wants to overturn the Jade Pure sect. Li Qingzi advised, Elder Han, you must catch him, and be careful with your strength. Don't kill him. I need to inform the other brothers and sisters to be more vigilant. After Li Qingzi left, the system once again popped up a notification. Congratulations on obtaining the exceptional spiritual treasure, the Book of Misfortune. The exceptional Book of Misfortune is an exceptional spiritual treasure. It can curse beings to bring misfortune to them without their notice. Upon seeing this, Hanju was shocked. Has summoning a treasure ever been such a big deal? Hanju returned to his cave dwelling, took out the Book of Misfortune, and said, true to its name, one look and you know this isn't a lucky charm. All these seals on it, is it stacking murder on top of a curse? Creepy. Can it really spread misfortune and curse others like Su Qi did? Su Qi looked at the Book of Misfortune in Hanju's hands. This feels strangely familiar. What did you say? Nothing, nothing. My apologies. I didn't mean to disturb the senior. Do misfortunes sense each other? Interesting. If it's from the system, it must be a fine product. Wouldn't the Book of Misfortune curse enemies to death? Should I experiment with it? Let's start by binding it with my blood. As the blood dropped and the seal was lifted, a strong aura of misfortune spread out. Hanju thought, whom to try it on? Xiaoa is a prime enemy, but no, he's more powerful than I am. It might not have any effect. Despite the system claiming the curse will not be noticed by others, it seems unreliable. Hanju thought, let's target him then. At the same level he can't beat me, especially since he's attempting to overthrow the Jade Pure sect. He remembered Li Qianlong. Li Qianlong, if not for you, our Jade Seclusion Peak might have been a place for love and affection. On the other side, Li Qianlong was kneeling at the entrance of a bamboo house, saying saying solemnly, "Master, please come out of retirement." A voice from inside the bamboo house responded, "I have already left the mortal world and no longer involve myself in the disputes of the cultivation world. You must seek your own revenge. I have already passed on all my teachings to you. Do not be greedy." Li Qianlong, not willing to give up, pleaded, "Then please pass the poison god pill to me." The voice replied, "No, what if you use it to poison me? Wouldn't I be wronged?" Li Qianlong thought to himself, "This damn thing, he's holding back. The Nine Cauldrons sage had already sensed the existence of me, so I cannot rashly offend him. However, if you are determined to seek revenge, you can go to the Great Swallow Wei family. The Wei family has wide connections in the Great Swallow cultivation world. Do you understand what I mean?" Li Qianlong said, "Understood. Thank you, master." In his heart, Li Qianlong resented, "This old man, I've been your guinea pig for so many years, promised to be the sole heir of the Poison King, yet he still doesn't fully impart his skills to me. Just you wait. When the time comes." A bolt of lightning struck Li Qianlong, and he cursed, "How sinister." Meanwhile, Han Ju was studying the Book of Misfortune. "I've been cursing for so long, and there seems to be no reaction. It couldn't be a fake, could it?" A month later, Yang Tiandong returned and said to Han Ju, "Master, I have lived up to your expectations. I've become a core disciple. The heartless sword technique you taught me is truly powerful. Many couldn't withstand even one move. Master, I plan to attend the cultivation conference to represent the Jade Pure sect in the martial arts competition. Could you teach me another move?" Su Qi crowded around. "Could you be the senior brother Yang Tiandong that the predecessor mentioned? Pleased to meet you." Han Ju quickly kicked Yang Tiandong away. Yang Tiandong was on the verge of tears. "Is master opposing me going to the cultivation conference?" Han Ju thought to himself, "I'm afraid you'll be infected by misfortune." 5 years later, Han Ju broke through to the full completion of the spirit transformation realm and thought, "It's about time for a breakthrough. Once I enter the integration realm, the efficiency of absorbing the spiritual energy of heaven and earth will at least triple. However, this means that others in the cave will not be able to absorb spiritual energy, which is unfair to Su Qi. But the problem is, apart from staying in the cave, there's nowhere else to accommodate him. Keeping him in the cave all the time is not a long-term solution. What should he do in the future?" Han Ju called Su Qi over and said, "Su Qi, come here. I have something to tell you." Su Qi asked, "Senior, what is it?" Han Ju said, "You've been in the Jade Pure sect for quite a few years and have started on the path of cultivation. I have a task for you. If you can complete it, I will take you as my direct disciple." Su Qi joyfully said, "Senior, what is the task?" "Su Qi will not let you down. I want you to go to the northern province and join the monster taming demon sect. Just focus on covertly cultivating. Once the internal support is ready, I will destroy their sect and get you out." Su Qi exclaimed in shock, "To destroy a sect? What realm is Senior in? So powerful. The disciple will definitely complete the task." Han Ju instructed, "This is a secret mission. Do not speak of it to anyone in the Jade Pure sect. Off you go." After leaving the innate cave, the sunlight shone on Su Qi. He couldn't help feeling as if he was in a different world. "After so many years, I didn't expect the senior to actually let me out. It feels so unreal. I thought I had to surpass the senior in cultivation to leave, and was prepared to never leave in my lifetime. I must complete the master's test." Suddenly, Su Qi remembered, "Wait, where's the northern province?" 2 years later, Han Ju's cultivation finally reached the full completion of the spirit transformation realm. He excitedly opened the system's interpersonal relations panel to see what had happened in these 2 years. "Your disciple Yang Tiandong was attacked by a demon king and severely injured. Your disciple Yang Tiandong obtained an opportunity and awakened the demon saint bloodline. Your divine pet chaotic heavenly dog made a mistake in its cultivation, resulting in a regression of 20 years in its cultivation journey. Your friend Mafuchu was attacked by righteous path cultivators 104 times. Your friend Chan Yuer accidentally obtained an opportunity and her cultivation greatly increased. Your disciple Su Qi was attacked by demon cultivators 27 times. Your disciple Su Qi was captured by the Azure Ghost sect. Your disciple Su Qi spread bad luck, leading the Azure Ghost sect to encounter a once-in-hundreds of years heavenly tribulation, resulting in the sect's destruction." Han Ju was stunned by what he read, exclaiming in his mind, "Awesome, truly the scourge of the heavenly court, absolutely a nuclear bomb." A few days later, outside the demonic beast pavilion, Master Jingshu told dozens of disciples, "From today onwards, all disciples are forbidden from entering the myriad demon realm until further notice." A main peak disciple couldn't help asking, "Master, what happened in the myriad demon realm?" The disciples were all curious. Han Ju turned his head to express his gratitude to true person Jingshu. "Thank you, Master Jingshu. I don't know how long I'll need to stay in the myriad demon realm." Han Ju activated teleportation and headed straight for the myriad demon realm. Tribulation Crossing? His spirit transformation was only 100 years ago, and he's achieved the fusion void realm at just over 200 years old. Even the Nine Cauldrons sage, who was once hailed as the #1 genius of the Great Swallow cultivation world, took over 1,000 years to reach the fusion void realm. A disciple asked, "Master, what's happening in the myriad demon realm?" "The god-slaying elder is crossing the tribulation in the myriad demon realm. This matter must not be disclosed. Just say the the myriad demon realm is facing a natural disaster. Hearing that the god-slaying elder was inside, the disciples discussed it non-stop, very excited. On the other side, within the myriad demon realm, a mighty heavenly tribulation shook the entire myriad demon realm. As the last thunder tribulation struck down, Hanju finally endured the heavenly tribulation and advanced to the fusion void realm as a great cultivator. Congratulations on breaking through to the fusion void realm, obtaining a congenital spiritual treasure. The congenital spiritual treasure will fuse with your soul and recognize you for life. As you become stronger, the congenital spiritual treasure will also grow stronger. You have the following choices for the congenital spiritual treasure. 1. Sword. 2. Defensive treasure. Hanju, already possessing defensive type spiritual treasures, naturally chose the sword since he is a sword cultivator. The system again prompted, congratulations on obtaining the primordial judgment sword. Primordial judgment sword, because you were not reincarnated in the conventional manner but traveled through the primordial chaos to come into this world. The primordial energy on your body has been refined into your congenital spiritual treasure. Hanju was stunned. Primordial chaos? Is it the primordial chaos from the prehistoric novels? The system didn't answer him. Hanju opened the attribute panel and found that his lifespan had skyrocketed to 8,940 years. Hanju also noticed the addition of mortal shedding stage to his human identity. Is this a hint towards becoming an immortal? Hanju was experiencing the fusion void realm, feeling a world of difference compared to the spirit transformation realm. His divine sense could extend to 100 miles. Why is Elder Guan here? At this moment, Gu Yugang was tracking Hanju's aura. The aftermath of the thunder tribulation hasn't dissipated. I wonder where the god-slaying elder is consolidating his cultivation. Hanju suddenly appeared behind Gu Yugang on a tree. Who are you looking for? Gu Yugang turned his head, his face slightly reddened upon seeing Hanju's peerless visage. Is this the god-slaying elder? So handsome. Hanju's face darkened. You're looking for me? Exactly. God-slaying elder. I am Gu Yugang. We had an agreement. I challenge you. If I win, I will be the Jade Pure sect leader. Have you forgotten? God-slaying elder? Hanju suddenly remembered his master's instructions. I came to find you hoping you could help me suppress Elder Guan. Hanju was furious. Of all times, you choose now to come. Gu Yugang stepped forward briskly. So, you've agreed? Good. God-slaying elder. My divine ability is very powerful. Bear with it. Meanwhile, he thought to himself, I'll use my newly comprehended divine ability to finish him in a second. Then, Sister Shixian might see me in a new light. He unleashed a peerless divine ability, which inherently causes true damage, has a devastating effect, and can shatter both soul and body upon impact. Hanju thought to himself, it's been a while since I've used that move. Supreme Finger Divine Sword. In an instant, a sword energy 100 times larger than Gu Yugang's divine ability exploded forth. Gu Yugang was petrified with shock. What? It's so huge. Then he was sent flying. I couldn't even take one of his swords. If he hadn't changed the direction of the sword energy, I would have been reduced to dust. This is too monstrous. No wonder the junior sister is fixated on him. My heart aches. It hurts so much. And to think I had hoped to defeat him with one move. Hanju smiled slightly. Elder Guan, you're actually very strong. It's just that you picked the wrong opponent. In the Jade Pure sect now, you're the only one worth my effort. Don't be disheartened. With you, the Jade Pure sect has a future. Upon hearing this, Gu Yugang's face flushed with emotion. Just how strong are you? At that moment, the system chimed in. Gu Yugang's favorability towards you. Hanju immediately interrupted. Shut up. 3 years later, Hanju returned to his own peak and suddenly had an idea. He raised his right hand, and the earth rose, quickly solidifying into a stone tablet. Using his finger as a pen, Hanju inscribed 4 characters on the tablet. Cultivation leads to immortality. This will be the name of this mountain from now on. The chicken and the dog also noticed that their master's aura was stronger than before. Master's aura is so strong. Has he made another breakthrough? Of course. Who do you think our master is? Hearing this, Hanju was overjoyed. Truly the spirit pets I've raised, so in tune with my heart. You're right about the breakthrough. Just now, in the simulation trial, I finally defeated the 9 Cauldron Sage, thanks to the primordial judgment sword unleashing its divine might. Even though it took a long time, I can defeat the 9 Cauldron Sage at the 8th level of the integration realm, so Xiaoa at the 2nd level of the integration realm is even less of a concern. At this moment, the system again popped up with a relationship list. Your disciple Su Qi was attacked by ghost cultivators 12 times. Your disciple Su Qi has cumulatively killed tens of thousands of beings, increasing his karma. Your friendly Qingzi was attacked by demon cultivators 58 times. Your friendly Qingzi was attacked by righteous path cultivators 44 times. Your friendly Qingzi is severely injured and on the brink of death. Your cultivation partner Xian Qingjun has left the mortal world. Your friend Mafuchu has slaughtered many, accumulating immense karma. Your friend Xing Hongxian has accidentally entered an ancient great cultivator's secret realm, her life and death unknown. Hanju mused. The cultivation world has been quite lively lately, with the 9 Cauldron Sage backing the Jade Pure sect. We don't have to be as stifled as before. What about the other sects? Could there be other ancestors in existence? No, the integration realm is still not enough. I must continue you to cultivate and step into the Union realm as soon as possible. 2 years later, Li Qingzi came to visit, once again looking as miserable as he often did decades ago. Han Ju sighed. Sect leader, can't you just cultivate peacefully for a few hundred years? Li Qingzi said awkwardly. Elder Han, we're in big trouble. The righteous and demonic paths of the Great Swallow are joining forces to attack our Jade Pure sect. Those bastards claim that one of our core disciples has fallen into the demon path. I went to apologize personally, but they attacked me. The disciple they're talking about is Mafuchu, whom you know. I suspect someone is framing the Jade Pure sect, trying to take advantage of the situation. What exactly happened with Mafuchu? Mafuchu's family was originally a cultivation family, and his name wasn't Mafuchu back then. But not long after, someone in his family colluded with the demon path, and the entire family was annihilated by the righteous path, leaving only Mafuchu and Maju alive. The siblings relied on each other and wandered the mortal realm for years until they came to the Jade Pure sect, where Taoist Lei took them in as disciples and gave him his name. From now on, your name is Mafuchu, hoping you can forget your hatred and start anew. However, he couldn't let go. Once, during an outing, he encountered his old enemies, killed many disciples of that sect, and then went on to attack disciples of other righteous path sects involved in the incident, resulting in more than 5 sects hunting him. Driven to desperation, Mafuchu had to use his family's divine ability, which contained demonic thoughts, leading him directly into the demon path. Relying on this divine ability, he killed more and more, completely becoming a demon, unable to turn back. Hanju frowned, but Mafuchu isn't that kind of person. He's humble and wouldn't take extreme actions. Li Qingzi said, I thought so too. The whole thing is too suspicious. These sects didn't even inquire with us and directly pursued Mafuchu. What if he was being manipulated? I intended to mediate, but they attacked me instead. Clearly, they were looking for an excuse to start a war. Have you ever seen a junior's issue escalate to involve sect leaders? Now with the righteous and demonic paths besieging us, plus the ancestors' departure, we could have resisted with you and Guyugang. But Guyugang is seriously injured for some reason and hasn't recovered. It looks like we have no choice but to flee. Han Ju advised Li Qingzi not to panic and asked, do the righteous and demonic paths have any cultivators at the integration realm or union realm? Li Qingzi answered, impossible. Previously, Huang Zuntian had the strength of the 9th layer of the spirit transformation realm and was already domineering in the Great Swallow. If they had cultivators at that level, they would have wiped out the Raincoat Holy Church long ago. Han Ju then asked, is there anyone like the ancestor of the Jade Pure sect who went out to cultivate and seek opportunities? Li Qingzi replied, I'm not very clear about that. When our ancestor went door to door back then, each of them was as meek as a grandchild. At least, I haven't heard of any integration realm existences in the Great Swallow. Han Ju smiled upon hearing this, feeling reassured. Li Qingzi said, Elder Han, please prepare yourself. In at most 3 days, I will lead the Jade Pure sect to seek refuge overseas with our ancestor. Han Ju responded with a smile. Why run? I haven't thought about running. Why are you? With full confidence, Han Ju declared, let them come. They will realize that the most fearsome aspect of the Jade Pure sect might not necessarily be the ancestor. Understanding Han Ju's implication, Li Qingzi excitedly asked, what realm are you in now? Han Ju casually answered, at least not inferior to the ancestor. A year later, outside the Jade Pure sect, 2 disciples were discussing the 19th root sect's approach and contemplating whether to flee. One disciple pointed at an approaching figure and said, that's Huang Jihao from the Vermilion Birdsword sect. The other disciple exclaimed, the Vermilion Birdsword sect is attacking? Run! Without further thought, the 2 turned and ran, leaving Huang Jihao baffled. Suddenly, a voice came from behind him. Why are you here again? Wasn't the last beating enough? Recognizing the voice of the god-slaying elder, Huang Jihao quickly said, fellow Taoist, please don't be hasty. I'm just here to visit, and I have no ill intentions towards the Jade Pure sect. Huang Jihao explained, recently, some people want to unite the righteous and demonic paths to deal with the Jade Pure sect. The Vermilion Birdsword sect sent me to ask if the Jade Pure sect needs any help. Han Ju coldly responded, no need. No matter how many of you come, you will all die. Huang Jihao was shocked by Han Ju's reply. Such arrogance, truly befitting the god-slaying elder. Han Ju changed the subject, suggesting the situation was suspicious and possibly instigated by someone. If you can find out who's behind this, I wouldn't mind forming an alliance with your sect leader. Hearing Han Ju's willingness to form an alliance, Huang Jihao was both shocked and pleased. The god-slaying elder is willing to face the 19th root sect alone, coming here to inform the Jade Pure sect, even at the risk of offending the 19th root sect alliance, was indeed worth it. The system notified, Huang Jihao's favorability towards you has increased to 4 stars. Han Ju thought to himself, does this guy have inappropriate thoughts about me? In a landscape of mountains and rivers, a pavilion stands in the middle of a lake. Wei family's Li Qianlong knelt at the entrance, inviting a powerful individual to come forward. Whatever conditions you have, Li will satisfy them. A person walked out slowly, smiling. Oh, anything is possible. Agreed. Meanwhile, in an ancient secret realm, Xing Hongxian was admiring the ancient secret techniques on the wall, thinking, if I copy these back from my husband, he will be very happy. She looked affectionately at a puppet of Han Ju, sighing saying to herself, I wonder if my husband can hear my thoughts. As she was playing with the puppet, suddenly she heard footsteps behind her. Xing Hongxian turned around alertly. Who's there? A withered old cultivator slowly approached. Seeing Xing Hongxian's nervousness, he quickly reassured, young friend, no need to be cautious. I'm just here to comprehend the techniques. The gray-robed elder ignored Xing Hongxian and sat down in front of the wall, staring at the characters and pondering deeply. Xing Hongxian revealed confusion. He doesn't seem like it's his first time here. Could it be that he discovered this wall before I did? The atmosphere in the cave tensed, both parties not noticing the puppet's eyes flickering with light. Inside his innate cave dwelling, Hanju hesitated. Should I have the heavenly puppet intervene? But the gray-robed elder seems harmless. It seems Xing Hongxuan's safety isn't a concern for now, but it's better to be cautious. With that thought, Hanju continued his cultivation. Suddenly, Hanju unexpectedly received a message. Is this a sound transmission jade slip? He looked at the jade slip, puzzled. Shoot, I've never used this before. How does it work? Then, a voice from the jade slip spoke. It was Huang Jihao, God-slaying elder. I've found out why the 19th root sect is attacking the Jade Pure sect. It's related to the Wei family. I'm being pursued. I'll update you later. Hanju immediately sought out Li Qingzi to inquire. Sect leader, do you know about the Wei family? Hearing it was the Wei family, Li Qingzi was somewhat puzzled. The Great Swallow Wei family isn't too famous. They only have one nascent soul cultivator. But the Wei family is known for producing beautiful women, forming marriages everywhere, and even doing business outside of the Great Swallow. Their connections might be the widest. Elder Han, are you also interested in a woman? Hanju seriously suggested. Is it possible that the Wei family is the mastermind behind this incident? Li Qingzi was astonished. That's unlikely. The Wei family doesn't have that kind of capability, and besides, they have been on good terms with the Jade Pure sect for generations. Hanju chuckled. It's just a speculation. Having wide connections indeed makes many things possible. Another question. Who is the current head of the Wei family? Li Qingzi answered. I heard there has been a change in leadership, but the details are not clear. Hanju nodded. That's all right, sect leader. Take good care of yourself. If enemies approach, I am here. Li Qingzi gratefully said. Thank you, Elder Han. Hanju lamented. Old grudges not yet settled. New enmities arise. When will it all end? Hanju took out the Book of Misfortune, thinking, if only I knew who the mastermind was, it would be easy to deal with. Now I can't even curse them. Well, I'll just vent on these two for now. I cursed Xiao last week, so it's his turn now. Li Qianlong, I really look forward to the system delivering your good news. At this moment, Xiao was meditating in a secret chamber, preparing for a breakthrough, unaware that the curse had quietly returned. He was looking forward to it. I'm about to break through. If I succeed, my chances of success will be even greater. Suddenly, he felt his energy going in reverse, his inner demons overwhelming him, and without warning, he spat out a mouthful of blood. He instantly became dispirited. He gritted his teeth and cursed. Why is there another problem? At this rate, when will I be able to overthrow the Jade Pure sect? He had no choice but to give up on the breakthrough. Enough. It's about time anyway. Let's proceed with the plan. In a luxurious palace, dozens of cultivators were seated, mingling. Li Qianlong slowly walked in. Seeing Li Qianlong joining, the crowd exchanged a few words of greeting. Brotherly, how goes your cultivation? Why don't you join us for some fun? These individuals were sect leaders or deputy leaders from both the righteous and demonic paths, gathered to discuss the attack on the Jade Pure sect. Li Qianlong stated, since all the sect leaders are gathered, I'll get straight to the point. This time, the Wei family and I have paid a great price to invite an integration realm cultivator to help us eradicate the Jade Pure sect. Integration realm? Everyone exclaimed. I've already investigated. The Jade Pure sect's ancestor, the Nine Cauldrons sage, has traveled far overseas. Now, their strongest is only this so-called god-slaying elder. If you join me, the Jade Pure sect is doomed. Li Qianlong's words made the cultivators look at each other, wondering if they would become the next Jade Pure sect after it falls. Seeing their hesitation, Li Qianlong reassured, don't worry, that predecessor has his own sect and will leave after the job is done. The Wei family only wants the Jade Pure sect's secret realms and will not partake in further conflicts. With these words, the mood among the sect leaders eased, and they agreed one after another. Li Qianlong thought to himself, idiots, once the Jade Pure sect is destroyed, I'll invite the predecessor again to wipe you all out. Just then, the spiritual power inside Li Qianlong suddenly surged, and he spat out another mouthful of blood. Ugh, who is messing with me? On the other side, Hanju thought the curse had failed again. Still no feedback. Did I just curse in vain? In the blink of an eye, another 3 years passed. Hanju's cultivation had reached the second layer of the fusion void realm. Hanju checked his relationships and emails to see what interesting events had occurred in the past 3 years. Your disciple Yang Tiandong has become a demon king. Your friend Zhou Fan has fallen into the demon path. Hanju couldn't help but sigh upon reading this. How did Zhou Fan also fall into the demon path? What's going on with Thunder Peak? It can't be that betrayal is Thunder Peak's traditional skill. The Peak Master is not doing well, and the disciples are suffering too. Indeed, Jade Seclusion Peak is the best. While Hanju was pondering, he suddenly sensed the aura of the chaotic heavenly dog. The plump dog was squatting nearby, looking like it had something to say but hesitating. The dog said nervously, "Master, I really can't hold it in any longer. May I go out for a trial?" Hanju replied, "You are a divine beast. If people discover your identity, it will easily attract their covetousness. It would be difficult for me to save you if you're not in the Jade Pure sect." The chaotic heavenly dog, by nature, found it hard to suppress its longing for the outside world. "Master, I always feel like there's some opportunity waiting for me out there." Hanju asked, "Have you really thought it through? Once you go out, whether you encounter attacks from the righteous path or the demon path, I won't intervene to save you." The chaotic heavenly dog carefully answered, "Master, I think the ones who should be worried are them." Hanju looked up and exclaimed in surprise, "Damn, this thing has grown bigger than a bear." Hanju thought to himself, "I've been too absorbed in cultivation these years and neglected the changes around me." Hearing Hanju's agreement, the chaotic heavenly dog immediately grabbed Hanju and licked him. In its paws, Hanju looked just like a small bone. "Since that's the case, then go. It might actually be good for you to go out and experience the world." The chaotic heavenly dog barked joyfully and dashed out of the cave, fearing Hanju might change his mind. Hanju wanted to give it some last words of advice, but the dog had already run down the mountain. Hanju thought to himself, "Oh, doggy, you don't know how good you have it. Just wait until society gives you a hard time." Not long after, the dark prison chicken came. Hanju said somewhat irritably, "What? You want to go out too?" The dark prison chicken shivered with fear and quickly said, "How could I? Going out means getting turned into KFC. I came to ask Master if you could teach me how to cultivate, or at least some survival skills." Hanju thought to himself, the dark prison chicken has its own life cultivation technique, but lacks spells and divine abilities. It's time to teach it something. Since that's the case, I'll teach you as heaven and earth. It's a good opportunity to prove that hard cultivation is no worse than encountering fortunes outside. The little chicken had its own plans. "You fat dog, bet you didn't see this coming. The moment you left, I'm learning divine abilities from Master. Next time, I'll give you a good thrashing." In a bustling city, Suchi was walking on a street lined with stalls on both sides. The people coming and going were cultivators. He looked more mature, his face devoid of smiles, giving off a sense of having experienced the vicissitudes of life. As he walked, Suchi pondered the events of the past few years. Is it bad luck or fortune? A young lady once coveted my beauty, but then her family was struck by a plague, and only I was spared. I've been chased by demon cultivators, from the second ring all the way to the sixth, and not even on a direct route. In a desperate moment, I stumbled into the lair of a legendary beast, Godzilla, and the demon cultivator was done for. Fortune seems to always accompany me. Wherever I go, there's a life and death trial waiting for me, yet I always manage to escape danger. But others aren't as lucky as me. Plague, earthquakes, floods, famine. I've witnessed too much suffering among the people, feeling increasingly powerless, eventually adding only to my size. Facing this world, we are truly fragile. Perhaps the outcome of the mission isn't important. What matters is the process. Only by enduring the hardships of the human world can one understand the Tao. Suchi had an epiphany. "Master, I finally understand what you meant." As he spoke, Suchi, not paying attention, bumped into a female cultivator. "You wretch, harboring lewd thoughts about me." The female cultivator scolded angrily. Suchi hastily apologized. I'm so sorry. I was distracted and didn't see you." The female cultivator became even angrier. "What's the use of apologizing? I've been violated like this. Who would want me now? I really didn't mean it that way." Suchi defended. "Go to hell." The female cultivator drew her long sword and stabbed at Suchi. At this critical moment, an invisible force suddenly repelled the female cultivator, causing her to fall heavily to the ground. "Indeed, it must be Master helping me from the shadows. Otherwise, how could I explain such fortunate coincidences along my journey?" After the chaotic heavenly dog left, within less than a year, the 19th Root sect, led by Li Qianlong and Wei Yuan, finally prepared to attack the Jade Pure sect. Wei Yuan walked in the air, his sleeves fluttering with the wind, exuding an immortal aura. He scanned the Jade Pure sect with his spiritual sense and frowned slightly. There's only one spirit transformation realm cultivator in the Jade Pure sect, and his aura is unstable, seeming still in recovery. He looked dissatisfiedly at Li Qianlong, his gaze as if saying, "You brought me here just to deal with such a sect?" Hearing this, Li Qianlong was pleasantly surprised. "The god-slaying elder is injured? That's great." With a call from Li Qianlong, "Gentlemen, fortune and the law of the land await us. Follow me into the Jade Pure sect, and the first one to break through will be handsomely rewarded." The attacking force charged towards the Jade Pure sect, battle cries shaking the heavens. Meanwhile, inside the innate cave dwelling, Hanju received a prompt. The Jade Pure sect is under attack by the 19th Root sect from both the righteous and demonic paths. You have the following choices. 1. Immediately flee to avoid trouble and receive a spiritual treasure. Or 2. Kill the enemies and protect the Jade Pure sect and receive a spell manual. Without hesitation, Hanju chose the latter option, confident in his ability to cut down enemies like harvesting crops. Adopting a know-your-enemy strategy, Hanju checked for the strongest nearby and initiated a simulation trial. Wei Yuan, first level of the integration realm, deputy sect master of the Nine Dragons sect. 3 seconds later, the trial concluded. Target defeated in 3 seconds. That's That's it. At this time, news of the 19th Root Sect's attack quickly spread throughout the Jade Pure sect. Report: the 19th Root Sect is attacking. The Eastern Gate's defense needs reinforcement. The Southern Gate's protective formation needs new parts. However, Li Qingzi was not panicked. He ordered the 18 Peaks Elder and the Outer Sect Elder to stabilize the troops, activate the protective formations first, and forbade all disciples from going out to meet the attack. Although he was calm, the elders were anxious. Sect leader brother, at such a critical moment, how can you be so calm? Even if we don't flee, we should at least send disciples to defend key positions, right? Li Qingzi was full of confidence. What's there to panic about? It's just a small situation. Could it be that God-slaying elder? Exactly. The God-slaying elder has decided to take on the 19th Root Sect alone. Firstly, to reduce the casualties of our disciples, and secondly, the 19th Root Sect hasn't split up their forces, probably fearing sneak attacks. It's the perfect opportunity for the God-slaying elder to wipe them out in one fell swoop. Is he confident? Rest assured, the God-slaying elder said he's now capable of contending with the ancestor. If he makes such a promise, it means he's completely confident. This is a godsend opportunity. Hearing that the God-slaying elder himself would take action, what was supposed to be a tense and serious preparation meeting instantly turned into a session of extravagant flattery. What a move! Taking them all out in one go. This wave is stable. Little sister's training is effective. Outside the innate cave dwelling, Hanju was preparing to leave. After such a long period of intense cultivation, he wanted to stretch his limbs a bit. Too much cultivation. I've got a bit of shoulder pain. Just as he was about to perform a spell, the dark prison chicken arrived. Master, you're finally coming out. Let's run away quickly. I've packed everything. The dark prison chicken asked in rapid succession, its tone anxious. Hanju thought to himself, this one really has learned a bit from me. Hanju simply bypassed it, leaving behind the words, don't worry, they're just a bunch of dogs and chickens. Why bother running? With those words, Hanju turned into a breeze and left. The dark prison chicken looked admiringly in the direction he left, then suddenly realized, wait, was the master insulting me just now? Feeling slighted, the dark prison chicken thought to itself, I am a phoenix, not a chicken. The insult was meant for that fat dog. This realization made the dark prison chicken happy again. Hanju flew on his sword, heading straight for the 19th Root Sect's allied forces. The cultivators of the 19th Root Sect were both nervous and excited. Ahead is the Jade Pure Sect. The Jade Pure Sect is doomed. They even protected Zhou Fan and Mafuchu, truly a disgrace to the righteous path. Is that Wei Yuan Sr. really a great cultivator of the integration realm? Quiet. Such a powerful person is not for us to discuss. Wei Yuan was full of confidence, not taking the Jade Pure Sect seriously at all. Li Qianlong sensed someone from the Jade Pure Sect approaching. Senior, someone from the Jade Pure Sect is coming. Wei Yuan's spiritual sense landed on Hanju. Foundation Establishment Realm Level 9. Weakling, suddenly sensing something amiss. Wei Yuan widened his eyes. What the heck? Full of spiritual treasures? That's nonsense. I only have one spiritual treasure, and I obtained it by risking my life. Is this person really not the Nine Cauldrons Sage? Li Qianlong suggested. Maybe it's a peace envoy. The Nine Cauldrons Sage is far overseas, and couldn't possibly return so quickly. No wonder he's equipped with all defensive treasures, probably fearing that we'll take our anger out on him. The moment the visitor arrived, Li Qianlong still thought of Hanju as just cannon fodder. The Jade Pure Sect sent only you? How arrogant. Hanju calmly asked. You are Li Qianlong, right? The mastermind behind the Wei family? Such oppressive force. How does he know? I've kept that information well protected. Li Qianlong communicated through a secret message. Something's wrong. Senior, please make your move and capture this person. Wei Yuan communicated through a secret message. He actually ignored my pressure. His strength is definitely not below mine. Li Qianlong said, this person is most likely the God-slaying elder. It's said that he's the youngest elder in the history of the Jade Pure Sect, apparently born in the outer sect of the Jade Pure Sect, and is not yet 300 years old. Not yet 300 years old? Then at best, he's just entered the spirit transformation realm. He probably resisted my pressure with those spiritual treasures he has. Since that's the case, God-slaying elder, do you dare to fight me? As Wei Yuan spoke, Hanju suddenly charged at him with extreme speed. Where does this confidence come from? Never mind, I'll just finish this quickly. Wei Yuan didn't even have time to lift his magical tool. He's not abiding by the rules of engagement to launch a sneak attack. Such speed. Hanju's palm emitted 6 types of glows, rapidly spinning to form a seal that struck Wei Yuan's forehead. Since stepping into the integration realm, I've comprehended a new divine ability, 6 Paths Ultimate Seal, which can suppress the enemy's primordial spirit and can be used as a finishing move. When the bright light dissipated, everyone saw Wei Yuan's body suddenly fall to the ground. The body remains, but the primordial spirit is gone. Li Qianlong shouted in terror, Senior Wei Yuan. Hanju coldly said, your turn. Hanju pointed his right index finger, executing the Supreme Finger Divine Sword. Sword energy pierced through Li Qianlong's chest, and the domineering spiritual power of the 6 paths entered Li Qianlong's body. Hanju recited a spell, disperse the spiritual essence, destroy his golden core, tear apart his nascent soul, and severely damage his primordial spirit. Li Qianlong's spiritual power dissipated instantly. Another instant kill. Li Qianlong fell off the cliff with blood flowing from his 7 orifices, a tragic sight indeed. This all happened too quickly, leaving the thousands of cultivators from the 19th root sect dumbfounded, frozen in shock. A cultivator, sweating profusely, looked at his sect leader and asked with a trembling voice, "Sect leader, do we still attack?" Upon hearing this, the sect leader cursed, "Attack? What attack? Are you a spy? We're here to support the Jade Pure sect." The sect leader laughed a few times. "Ah, it seems the Jade Pure sect doesn't need our support, so we'll be leaving first. Sorry for the disturbance. Farewell." Hanju didn't trouble the remaining soldiers. It's good that the 19th root sect didn't fight to the death. If they were all killed, the Jade Pure sect would truly become the enemy of the entire Great Swallow cultivation world. Now, a warning is enough. Sect leader, Li Qianlong is handed over to you. The Jade Pure sect disciples were bewildered. It's over just like that? Huh, we haven't even finished our meeting.